Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you an example of the sand, S-A-N-D. Actually, I'm naming it pack. So pack, P-A-C-K, like a backpack. So what you do, okay, so this is an example of the game. So you already saw, if you saw the other video where I was explaining the game, then you'll see that that's how you play it. But this is going to be an example, right? So all right. So I did one where I went up to 50. It was last night, and it was like, it took me like 2.5 hours. It was like really long, and I was just like trying to figure out what to do. But I'll go ahead and explain how to play it. There's two ways to play. Either you put 50, you either set a score. No, yeah. Actually, I decided that if you're gonna play scored, you have to do heroically. So you either go up to 1,000 or 500,000. Okay, so 1,000 or 500,000, and then those are the only scores you can do. And then if you're not gonna do it scored, actually, you know what? Let me just take that off. If you're gonna do it scored, just pick a score. So for this one, I did 50. And okay, so what you do, if you saw the video where I explained how to play, is you put your game name, the symbol, and the reason you're gonna play. Okay. So for this one, it was leather belt for the game name. So leather belt. The symbol is diagonal strap play, which is diagonal strap, which is it's like a belt. It would look like a belt, but it's diagonal, so it's like a symbol. And then play before sleep. So I was just playing so I could play before sleep, right? So, and then once you get those three things down, you're gonna get a character, how your character looks, and your house. So the character from this one was, remember, you could always make new ones of these games. It's like a renewable game. You just play whenever you're bored, right? So the character is a white visor helm, white shoulder pads, fitting armor, leg plates, boots. And then the house is a 3-story mansion, big windows at the front, lobby, 3 stairs, open lobby to rooms, first story rooms, second story, elevator goes up from the middle to the 3rd story. See, what you do is you write character and house, and then you put the description of the character in the house. So, and you have to write it in words, so you describe it as best as you can. And then that's how you look, and then that's how where you live. So where you put where you live in your current house, you kind of just make a copy of the location where you live. And then you can use the terrain of where your house is, and just imagine all the other houses aren't there. Like you just walk around in empty terrain, or like the terrain of how the land is naturally. So, okay, so once you got all that down and you start in your house, you can also start somewhere else if you want. Then you got to start and get up to 50, right? So 50, I did it last night. You have to do 50 things in a list. Not a list, but in a row. What you do is you write down every move you make in the RPG. So you're going to be controlling the character you made in character, the white visor helm, white shoulder pad. Look, see, that's the character. And then you start, your house is where you live, right? So you're gonna control your character, and then with number one, you start doing stuff with your character, right? So I started in the house. So you start in the house, and you're the character, and then you put number one, and you're like, change wardrobe to retractable biker helm bike suit. So I changed it from the armor that I had at the beginning to this retractable biker helm that is on my head, and then like a bike suit, right? Because I was gonna go out and drive a bike. So I would have two spawn sports bike outside house. See, from one to two, what you do is you sit there and think, what do I got to do next with this character? So I had my biker helm, the suit, and I'm like, what do I want to do next? So I'm in the house with the biker helm suit now. So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna spawn a sports bike outside the house. So number two, you write it down, spawn sports house. Okay, so now you experience it. So you go outside the house. No, you spawn the sports bike. So this bike is now outside the house. And then, so I made roads to some girl's house that I know. I wanted to talk to her. For number three. Then for four, I took a bike to her house. And then five, she offered me soup. And then six, I went home. See, and then you start. So I went back to the house. Okay, so I was in the mansion again. And then seven, I changed it from the clothes I had on to some comfy clothes. Then from eight, I designed the inside of the third floor. And then nine, and the way it works is that you don't have to write everything down. You just write what you need to remember. And then when you look at that number later on, you can like bring it up in your own memory. You're like, oh, I remember what I did there behind the screen. So you're like, yeah, I remember what I did behind the screen, right? Like I remember, I like for two. Let's see. I'm gonna show you an example here. Let's see. For number eight, design the third floor. See, I didn't put anything I did, but I did a lot of stuff. I changed the carpet, changed the walls. I put all the plants and stuff because it's like a big lobby, third floor, kind of like a penthouse. And then you got like the TV, couches, a bed, elevator, a balcony. Well, I made the balcony later, but see, I added all that stuff, and it's in number eight. But I didn't write it down, so I just remember what I did because I was experiencing the character, right? So I got ready to fly to beach, meaning I just waited there in the third floor for a bit, and then created a flying Iron Man suit, changed wardrobe to Iron Man suit, fly to beach. Told some people it's so stupid just because I can't fucking see and communicate with all of y'all. That's sorry. Some people were telling me some stuff. I was like, man, just shut up. Like, and then fly home, walk into home. See, I found out that you can never use the words and or with. You can't put two things in one number. You do every move by one number. And that's the best and fairest way to make it, right? So 16, change wardrobe to relax. And then 17, make computer room downstairs. 18, center double door and elevator down into underground shooting range. 19, make chest to hold created items down there. And then 20, make Desert Eagle. 21, place Desert Eagle in chest. Actually, for 20, I did shoot something. It was pretty cool. What you can do is hold your gun that you make and then just imagineering shooting things around you. So, like, you can be like, there could be like a cup, I don't know, like the floor there, and you're just like, bah, and then you're just like, yeah, I shot it with my gun, right? It's just imaginary, but it's pretty cool. And then you do it within the game, so like you can shoot stuff in the game world too, or whatever. So then 21, place Desert Eagle in chest. 22, go to third floor. I went back to the third floor and then changed wardrobe to Iron Man suit. Walking outside house. So I went outside the house, create an IDEX, which is like a Pokédex, but for... see, what I did here is I walked outside the house I made in my third eye, and it is the nature terrain outside my house. So I could see stuff in the terrain. Like, it was weird. So I created an IDEX to like document stuff that I find. And then I found, I said, see fountain. There was a fountain there. And then IDEX weird thing, log IDEX, iStick, go to fountain, walk into house, change wardrobe to relax. See, you just gotta find stuff to do. Because it's gonna be hard to sit there and be like, what do I do next? But you gotta get to your score or whatever you wanna do, the score you're looking for. So change wardrobe to relax, go to third floor, lay on bed, make leather belt, gold-plated buckle into brown strap. Write note, winning is always accepted, no fatigue. Create balcony to leave with suit. Change wardrobe to Iron Man suit. Fly out of balcony to land in front of house. Phone message Nina, do you want to shoot my Desert Eagle? I was just asking her if she wanted to try that, shooting that gun. And then go to river. There was a river, like, that was weird. I saw a river, I swear. And then sit next to a tree. Create paper sheet. This is all outside my house. It's just, I'm hanging outside the house right now. And then create paper sheet. Draw a map of new terrain outside house on sheet. Walk into gate. Change wardrobe to white t-shirt, brown shorts, sandals. Sit in shade corner. Go into house. Go into second story lobby. Create floor aquarium where elevator is. Go to third story. And then that's where I ended it. And then what you do to cap, once you're done and you think it's complete, you can cap it by putting any message you want at the end of it. So I put banjo belt. So once you're done with your scored game, let's say you went up to something bigger or smaller, I don't know, but you complete it in your text file. See, this isn't probably not even, this is probably like over a kilobyte of data. 1 kilobyte. And so now I designed the game. It could be as long as you want, but I designed it just to play when you have free time and you're bored. So like, and once you're done with it, you have this big map where every time you open it or like come back to it, you can just read. You can read it all in order, or you can go to a certain point. Like I'll go back to let's go to 20, make Desert Eagle. See, I could go right back to where I was holding the gun and be like, yeah, I'm chilling here again, and I could see everything. Or I could go back to when I was outside the house and I made that map on 43. See? And all the points are there, so it logs everything. And there is a way, if you want to figure out how to play it without the score and you just keep going at a natural pace, like you just keep going as long as you want, you got to watch the other video I posted about the sand game, the simple game. Like you got to watch that one, and it explains. I don't want to explain it here because I would have to make a new one, and I don't want to make a new one right now. Like, actually, I could show you with this other one I have here. This is another one I did where I went up to 25. And it's called Coif. And what you have to write, if you want to go without, see, I went up to 25, but it wasn't scored. It was actually just as long as I wanted. But you got to write this down. And the reason why you got to write it down is because you can't use all the numbers. Like, you don't want to use all the numbers. You want to use something more efficient and sleek. So what you do is you write this before all your numbers. You put the name and symbol, and in parentheses, your name and symbol is what the numbers I add to linearly. And by I mean you're like the person controlling the seed, and then are organized with. So you got to write that down. The name and symbol, Coif, is what the numbers are. And then, so what that does, every time you add a number, it's going to pause the game, and you don't have to deal with all the numbers. It just goes 1, and then you have as much time as you want to think. And then you could be like, all right, I want to add 2, and then you put 2 in it, and it will add it. That's all you got to do. And then, but see, on this one, it was scored, so I only went up to 50, right? So you don't, when you score it, you don't have to deal with that because it does give you the space you need. So, um, two last things. If you want to continue the game after you finish, for the one with the continuing one, you can do it on that one. But on the one with the scored, I highly suggest you don't continue after you finish. Like if you end on a bad point, I'm sorry, but you got to end there. Like you, there is something I said about change. Like if there's points that you think were very repetitive and you think they were kind of useless, you can like subtract those from your score and then add them to the final. Like you would go a little bit over 50 or whatever your score is because you would go a little bit over 50 because the score is you subtracted some of the scores so you could get a better story. You could do that. So all right, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for listening. That's how you play. If you want to know more, you're just gonna have to watch the first video, Sand on this account. Sand, the simple game. That was the first video I made, but I made this one just to show what I did and with a couple games I did. So yeah, thanks for listening and bye.